demo data set, I'm going to use a real data set, which is about 2 gigabytes. It's a firm level data that I use for economic research. So let's first import the library. I'm going to say import polars as PL. I'm also going to import some column selectors, which are going to be useful for selecting columns. So later on you will see it. So I'm gonna say from polars import column select. Okay, let's say selectors as CS. Okay. So we've imported our polars library. So let's import the data set as well. So in the first tutorial, I am going over the select function in polars. So let's first import the data sets. I'm gonna say df equals pl, and I'm gonna say read CSV. And under my data folder, I have something called firm level data, and then I'm gonna, let's say, sample 10,000 of them. Okay, let's take the head 10,000. The data is too big, so I just wanted to get the first 10,000 rows, and then I will play around with the data. So by the way, there are some lazy evaluations in polars, so which are really useful. So in most of the cases, I use the lazy evaluations. So for now, let's use this normal read CSV function. And yeah, by the way, our data is already imported, so let's get started. So if I say df head, so here I have my data set. So if you are coming from pandas, the first thing that you might have noticed is that there is no any index function in here. So this is one big difference between pandas and polars. The second one is the shape in here. So it basically gives you the row and the number of columns in here. And the other big difference is the type of the columns. Okay, so here, for example, the date is imported as a string instead of date. We have the firm identifier in here. We have the firm equity price. We have country. We have year. We have industry, sector. We have bond prices, stock volatility, firm ESG scores, a lot of other things. Okay. All right. The first thing that I could do is to select some columns. So let's put the select in here. Select. I'm gonna turn it into a markdown. Okay. I'm gonna say df select. So this is select is used for selecting columns. Okay, so I'm gonna say PL column, and let's take date and also firm. Okay, this is how you would choose a column. Okay, let's again take the head. I don't want to print all those rows. So here we only selected date and firm. There are actually different ways to select columns. So instead of this one, you could say PL call, and I mean, instead of this one, you could try this one as well within square brackets. This one also works, but I'm actually not sure if it if this square brackets are using the native Polars API. I'm just not sure. So it might affect the performance of the Polars library. The other way would be df select pl call, let's say date, and then again pl call fir. Again, let's use this head function in here. Okay, so this is also possible, but in most cases, instead of using those ones, we want to use we want to select, let's say, columns which start with a certain expression or which end with a certain expression, or we could select only strings, we could select only dates, or we could select only integers, whatever. So let's use this one. I'm gonna say df select, and then let's only select the columns which are floating, like the double. Okay, I'm gonna say pl call, and then within this pl call, I'm gonna say pl float. Okay, I'm gonna, if I say this one, then it's going to choose only the floating or the double columns. Let's put the head in here. Let's only choose the integers, df select pl call. If I say pl integer, then I only have the integers in here. Okay, so the same applies to string as well. pl, let's put the string in here. Now we only have the columns which are in string form. Okay, so this is how you would select columns, but you could also change the type of the columns. For example, let's first select the integers and then turn those integers into floating numbers. Okay, I'm just gonna copy this one. Let's come over here. So I'm gonna say df select, and then I say, let's do it from scratch. Okay, df select pl call. I'm gonna say pl integer. Okay, this is the way we would choose it, and then within this part, I'm gonna say cast. Cast means to convert the types between variables. I'm gonna say pl, let's say float. Okay, and then let's put the head in here. Okay, now I selected the integer columns, but I turned them into floating numbers. So this is how we would do it. Okay, and you could turn them into string as well. Let's turn them into string. Now they're all in string form. Good. Okay, let's use the starts with, ends with functions in column in Polars. So again, I'm gonna say df select. I'm gonna say cs. So remember, we starts with, let's say fir. Okay, so remember in the very beginning we imported the column selectors in here. So I'm gonna select the columns which starts with the fir. Okay, okay, now all the columns are now starting with the fir. I dropped all other columns, and I could do something similar, df select, and then now I'm gonna say ends with, and then let's say assets. Okay, now it only selects the columns which end with assets, right? So we have the debt to assets, cash to assets, whatever. I guess there should be a function called contains, cs contains. So this looks for an expression in here and then selects the columns which only contain this one. So let's say stock, okay. And then let's put the head in here. Good. So now all the column names right now, they include the stock name in here. Whether it's in between, whether it starts with, whether it ends with, it doesn't matter. As long as the stock name is in the column name, it selects the columns. So this is basically how you would select the columns in Polars. In the next video, I'm gonna make a video about the filter functions in Polars. Okay, and thank you for watching, and see you next time.